यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम। काम एष क्रोध एष रजोगुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विध्येनमिह वैरिणम्। Krishna taught Arjuna that this is kama, the desire, which instigates him to do sins. And the krodha, anger, is also originated basically from rajoguna through kama. Kama is the base of krodha. If one doesn't get what one wants, the desire turns into anger, and that desire is insatiable. And the 38th sloka, which we have to see today, is Dhumena vriyate vanhihi yatha darsho malena cha yatholve navrato garbha tatha tenedam avratam. The kama, desire, affects the seeker, the soul, as a fire is covered by smoke, a mirror is covered by the dust, a foetus, garbha, is enveloped, covered by the garbha, womb. These are the three examples shown by Krishna to Arjuna to convince him the strength of kama, which affects the seeker. If the fire is covered by smoke, the fire cannot be recognized, cannot be found by the people around it. The fire will be there, but it cannot be recognized as it is covered by the smoke. In the same way, the seeker will not be able to see the existence of God. Here in this sloka, the God is compared with the fire. God is there in and around us. Antarbahishcha tat sarvam vyapya narayana sthitah. But as we are covered, affected by the kama, we are unable to recognize, understand his existence. In another shloka of Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Jnanagnihi sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. Jnana is compared with Agni. The jnana of Supreme Being is compared with Agni. And the Supreme Being also can be compared with Agni. The seeker originally is gifted with the capacity of knowing, understanding, finding the existence of Supreme Being. He is entitled to the capacity of getting self and God realization. It is his inbuilt capacity. But as long as he is affected by the kama, desire, he will be unable to understand the existence of God. The fire can be seen only if the smoke is cleared out. In the same way, the God also can be known by the seeker only if the kama is got rid of. Here, if the Agni is not seen by the people around it, it has nothing to lose. The losers are the people around it. In the same way, if the seekers or any seeker is unable to understand the existence of Supreme Being, or getting the, if they are unable to get the God realization, the God has nothing to lose. The seekers are the ones who lose, who will be late in getting there, in hitting their goal. The second example is a mirror covered by dust. It is known to us, if the mirror is covered by the dust, our face will not be reflected in it clearly. Here, our mind, antakarna or buddhi, is compared with the mirror. The mirror is covered by dust, whereas our buddhi, wisdom, or mind, is affected by kama. As long as the mind remains covered, affected by the kama, it won't be able to show the existence of God. It is the mind which has to give us the first realization, mental realization, manasa sakshatkara. So, only after getting the manasa sakshatkara, the mental realization, the realization of God through mind, the seeker will be able to have the realization of God through the self, Atma. So, this can be understood as to when, as long as our mind is plagued by the kama, it will be unable to give us self and God realization. And third example is, the fetus is covered by the womb, a garbhastha shishu is covered by the garbha itself. So, as long as the child, unborn child, is covered, remains covered by the womb, it won't be able to move even a little. In the same way, our self, the Jiva Tattva, the soul himself, is affected, covered from all the directions by the kama. Consequently, he will be unable to realize himself and the Supreme Being. So, the kama affects the three things. The knower, jnatra, the one who has to know the Supreme Being, is first. The second one is the instrumental cause of our realization, that is our mind. Kama troubles this mind also. And the third principle and last principle affected by the kama is the Paratattva, Supreme Being. So, this is the most essential thing to defeat the kama in order to get self and God realization. Avratam dhanametena jnanino nityavairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena analena cha. So, she is the kama is the most prominent enemy of the seeker, and that kama affects the knowledge which is already got by the seeker, and it blocks the capacity of getting new knowledges also. We, the seekers, have only two types of knowledge. The first knowledge is the knowledge we have already got previously in this Janma or in our previous births. The second knowledge is the self and God realization, which we have to gain through our efforts in future. This is the capacity of kama that it blocks both the types of knowledge, the knowledge which is acquired already and the knowledge which is to be acquired in future. Kama rupena kaunteya dushpurena analena cha. Here again in this sloka, the kama is described as insatiable, the one which can never be satisfied completely. ज्ञानस्य ब्रह्मणश्चाग्नेः धूमो बुद्धेर्मलं तथा आदर्शस्याथ जीवस्य गर्भस्य उल्बो हि कामकः. This is a shloka given in the commentaries of Bhagavad Gita, not exactly from the Bhagavad Gita itself. This shloka shows us three examples of smoke covering fire, and the dust covering mirror, and the womb covering the fetus. The word dushpura, insatiable, which describes the terrible capacity of kama, reminds me of a story in Kathopanishad. Shvetaketu was the son of Uddalaka, and he performed a sacrifice, yajna. In that yajna, in charity, he gave some cows which were of no use to those who receive it. The boy Nachiketa, the son of Uddalaka, was deeply disturbed by this event, and he argued with his father, "Why are you doing such a thing? Why are you giving those useless cows to the Brahmanas?" And the father angrily cursed the boy, "Mrityave tva dadani." The boy had asked his father, Tata kasmai mam dasyasi. You are giving these useless cows to Brahmanas, and to whom are you going to give me, your son? To that, the father hit back angrily, Mrityavet tva I will give you to the god of Mrityu. And the son was not disturbed. He went to the abode of Yama. But Yama was not there. He was out of station. And his wife, Shyamala, received him with due hospitality. But the boy said, I will wait for Yama. After some time, Yama came there and received Nachiketa duly. And Nachiketa put some questions to Yama. येयं प्रेते विचिकित्सा मनुष्ये अस्तीत्येके नायमस्तीति चेके एतद्विद्या मनुशिष्टस्त्वयाहं वराणाम् एष वृतस्तृतीयः. Is there God, the Supreme Being, in the soul, in the seeker, who gets liberated or not? Some knowledgeable say, opine that there is God to control the liberated soul, and some other knowledgeable men opine the God won't control the liberated soul. I have a doubt in this regard. Please give me some proper clarification. To that Yama said, Devairatrapi vichikitsitam pura nahi sudneyaha anuresha dharmaha. Even the heavens, the gods, want to know these important things. And you too have got doubts and want to know these things. But anyam varam nachiketo vranishva. Don't ask the knowledge of these important things. Don't force me. Ask me something else. Shatayushah putra pautran vranishva bahun pashun hasti hiranyamashvan. O Nachiketa, if you want to get married in the future, when you grow young, you ask me a number of sons and children, a number of children and grandchildren. Ask me for livestock, horses, elephants, a big amount of gold, or even a big kingdom. But don't force me to answer to this important question. Ima Ramaha Sarathaha Saturyaha Nahidrisha Lambhaniya Manushyehi. I will give you a number of beautiful women who cannot be got in the earth, but try not to know the important question. To this temptation, Nachiketa said, I want to know the answer. I want to know the important thing of the existence of Supreme Being in the liberated soul. That is the only thing I want to know. Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha, the wealth and things and beautiful women which you are going to give me will not be there in my future life. They will serve me only for some limited time. If we go on experiencing those things through our karmendriyas, the organs of action, and the organs of sense organs, jnanendriyas, those material things will weaken our senses, our body. Tavaiva vahaha, let that wealth be with you. Let that gold, horse, elephant, everything be with you. Na vittena tarpaniyaha manushyaha. This is the sentence I remembered and want to explain with this Gita shloka. Dushpurena analena cha. The kama here is described as dushpura, insatiable. In fact, na vittena tarpaniyo manushyaha. The manushya, human being, cannot be satisfied with money. If you give him a good food or a sumptuous meal, he will be satisfied and says, please don't serve me. Please stop pouring those edible things in my plate. No longer I can eat. But nobody in this universe will be satisfied with the wealth, and nobody says, no longer I don't wealth. I am satisfied with the wealth. Please don't give me the wealth. So, a creature, a human being, can be completely satisfied with the food, but not with the money or the wealth. That's why the kama is described as dushpura, insatiable. At last, Yama was pleased with Nachiketa and answered him what he, Nachiketa, wanted to know. And he went back to his father, blessed by Yama. It is said in Sanskrit literature, Trishnaika Tarunayate, Danta Jiryanti Diryataha. As the man or woman ages, his teeth, hair, body, sense organs of action, everything ages and it will be weakened. The only thing which doesn't age, which will not be decreased, is the Trishna, Durasha. Trishnaika Tarunayate. The man goes on aging, but the desire goes on becoming young. Here I can remember a story, maybe not a true story, but an enlightening story. There was a king standing in his balcony with his queen in the afternoon of a summer time. There he saw a beggar finding something here and there and walking hurriedly on the road. And he he called that beggar through his servants. Why are you so disturbed? What are you searching for? And the beggar said, I had a naya paisa yesterday, but unfortunately I lost it somewhere on the road. I am searching for it. The king said, don't worry about that naya paisa, single pai. I will give you a rupee and go satisfied. And accordingly, the king gave a rupee, and the beggar went back. After some time or some day, after a day, again the king saw that beggar. The beggar was again walking along the road searching for something. As the day before, the king called that beggar and asked, why are you searching? What are you searching for? Did you lose that 1 rupee also? To that the beggar said, no, the 1 rupee is there safely with me. But I am searching for the pie which I lost a couple of days ago. If the pie, single naya paisa, is added with 1 rupee, that will be a wealth for me. The king was astonished and he said, I will give you 100 rupees. Don't search for that lost naya paisa. And that was given. The next day, again, the beggar was searching there. The questions and answers, the queries followed as the days before. I am searching for that single naya paisa, and that can be added to this 101 rupees. That will be a great wealth for me, argued the beggar. The king said, I will give you 1 lakh rupees, but please don't search for that lost naya paisa. Go and rest. 1 lakh rupees were granted to him. The next day, the same thing followed. The king was surprised, perplexed, like anything. He offered him his half part of kingdom and said the beggar, please be the king of this half kingdom. Be the king of this half kingdom along with me. I am the king of a half and you will be the king of another half. But for God's sake, don't search for that single naya paisa. The king and queen, his ministers and his followers thought that will end the story, that will end the search of that beggar for naya paisa. But the next day, after receiving that half kingdom, the beggar was again hitting the road on that summer day. As usually, with the same efforts, the king asked, are not you satisfied by the half part of my kingdom which I granted you yesterday? Why are you searching for that single naya paisa? The beggar said, the entire wealth, the half part of kingdom, 1 lakh rupees, 1000 rupees, 100 rupees, 1 rupee, plus that lost single naya paisa will only satisfy me. I need that single Naya Paisa also. So, maybe it is a single Naya Paisa, but if I regain that single Naya Paisa also, though I have this complete wealth, that will be a great wealth for me. Why should I lose on this earth that Naya Paisa? The God, the king, his queen, ministers, everyone became helpless. All of them became answerless. Let alone the king, queens, ministers. I think the God, Supreme Being, Almighty, is also helpless before this beggar. That beggar is in there within us. The Mother Nature can satisfy all the desires, asha, of all the people of this planet. But even that Mother Earth, the God Himself, won't be able to satisfy all the greeds, durashas, bad desires, extreme desires, insatiable desires of all these greedy people. This is the message we have to learn from this 39th shloka. Let us see what Krishna is going to teach Arjuna at the end of this chapter in our next episode.